Hello and welcome to this episode of Political Adda. Now, this week we are focusing on Tamil Nadu, where earlier in the week the opposition AIADMK walked out of the Tamil Nadu Assembly demanding that Muslim prisoners be released by the DMK government. Now, the DMK has hit back saying that this is a new sort of love that the AIADMK has developed for Muslims, especially after their split with the BJP recently, and has also questioned how a party which had once supported the CAA can now come out and ask for Muslim prisoners to be released. So today we are going to be talking about this prisoner politics in Tamil Nadu and the minority politics in the state that is happening in the context of this. Joining us on the discussion, we have our political editor DK Singh and Mr. JVC Sreeram, who is political analyst from Tamil Nadu, and he's joining us for this show. Sir, I'd first like to come to you. We'll get into the minority politics in a bit, but could you explain to us this politics about release of prisoners? Because the DMK has also released prisoners of various social groups in the past. So, what is this hue and cry that the ADMK is raising now?
See, we have to go back to the year 1998. In the year 1998, on February 14th, on a Saturday afternoon, if my memory is right, there were multiple blasts which had rocked Coimbatore. You know, Coimbatore is the business capital of Tamil Nadu. We can say at that point in time, yes, and even today, it's a very flourishing city. And it was in this city a series of blasts which had taken place. And it was supposed to be a meeting where Mr. L.K. Advani, who was the BJP leader then, who was supposed to address that meeting. And just before Mr. Advani was supposed to land in Coimbatore, this particular blasts were timed. And it were multiple blasts which were taking place in multiple locations. In fact, sources privy to the meetings which were who were there on that day tell me that it was in the last minute they came to know, and a police officer had come and given a brief to today's BJP state treasurer, who was who was injured very badly and who was hospitalized for more than 30 days there. He was almost in a state of coma. Mr. S.R. Shekhar tells me that he was also there in that meeting and they came to know. And after that, the politics in Coimbatore and in that area had been completely changed. And you know pretty well, these are prisoners who are languishing in the prison for a long time. And we should also understand that just a year back in the year 2022, near a temple, there was a blast which had taken place, which was initially called as an LPG cylinder blast. And then the NIA took over the probe. And there were links with the people who were alleged to have been committed that crime and who were also in jail, and all the connections the NIA is revealing. So, DMK has also demanded for the release of these prisoners in terms of humanitarian, in the name of humanitarian, this thing. There are several other parties like PMK and so many other, parties, smaller parties, which have also asked for the release of these convicted prisoners. And most of them are convicted, mind you. And there are also groups in Tamil Nadu, social groups, which do claim that releasing these kind of prisoners at this point in time is not a good sign and signal because of the kind of incidents which have taken place in the recent past. Because there have also been efforts by some of the leaders, second rung and third rung leaders in political parties, who said no, who came and defended in national channels, saying that no, the person who was victim in that car blast or that LPG cylinder blast was using those chemicals for agriculture purpose. They went to that extent, even before NIA had taken over and even after NIA had taken over. So there is a lot of needle of suspicion which is there. So the courts have refused to release these convicts. Although on this point, both the DMK and the DMK converges both the parties. But I think the final call would be in the justice system, the legal system, and also the governor and other constitutional authorities. This is the background of it.
Question is, why is the AIADMK doing it now?
Okay, that's a very interesting question. AIADMK, Ms. Jayalalitha had been very, very firm when she was the Chief Minister of Tamil Nadu in curbing rowdyism, terror elements, or even Sri Lankan-based terror which was imported during the 1980s, late 80s and 90s. Jayalalitha was very firm that it does not matter the identity of the person or the religious affiliation of the person. Yet, rowdy or a terrorist must be handled with a firm and an iron hand. This was the firm line which Jayalalitha had taken for a very, very long time. As a result of which, when she was in Tamil Nadu, probably a sympathetic call would be made, but no action would be taken in terms of releasing these prisoners. Now, we all know pretty well that after the demise of Jayalalitha, AIADMK government, in order for it to survive, needed to have not the legislative support, because BJP did not have any numbers in Tamil Nadu to provide legislative support. But being a national party, and the AIADMK had broken, some of the MLAs had already left them, and there was 2 or 3 divisions which had taken place in the AIADMK after the demise of Jayalalitha. There was no other go other than to go friendly with BJP, which is basically the ruling party in Delhi. And as a result of which, in 2019, they formed an alliance. In 2021, they again formed an alliance. And 2023, a few months back, Mr. Edappadi Palaniswamy was sitting next to the Prime Minister of India, and he was a member of the NDA alliance. It was always mentioned in Tamil Nadu politics that as long as you align with BJP, you would not be in a position to get minority votes. And some of the important people in the AIADMK who are pretty close confidants of Edappadi Palaniswamy, I have to name them, who come from the northern part of Tamil Nadu and not from the southern or the Kongu regions. They are KP Munusamy, who is a former minister, CV Shanmugam, former law minister, D. Jaykumar, an old and in AIADMK from the time of Jayalalitha, a former speaker and former minister. These 3 have been vocal in saying that it is because of the alliance which Tamil Nadu AIADMK had with BJP that minority votes are not coming to them. And instead, it is going lock, stock and barrel to DMK. And this was one of the reasons why the sudden announcement 20 days back by the AIADMK party that they are going to snap ties with BJP and they are no more part of NDA. Now, the next logical conclusion would be to go and tell the minority people that now you see, we have snapped ties with BJP, we are no more part of NDA. Now you cannot consider us taboo anymore. Now we are also friendly to you. We are also going to raise your causes. And what better cause can I pick up other than that of the release of these convicts? And this becomes a convenient issue for the AIADMK to seek the support of minority, particularly the Muslim community.
So my question here is, Muslims constitute about 6% of Tamil Nadu population.
Right.
Christians also around the same, it's the same figure, almost 6%. So we are talking about 12% of the population. Specifically in this case, probably we are talking about 6% of the population.
Yeah.
Correct me if I'm wrong. In one of the previous episodes we were having with you, you told us that, the Hindutva or nationalist vote bank in Tamil Nadu is about 15 to 20%, if I'm not wrong?
Yes.
So you weigh the 2 things together.
Yeah.
You go for this, you ask for the demand of or for the release of terrorists or Muslim prisoners because they have spent 20 years in jail, whatever. You want to be seen as sympathetic with them because of the Muslim votes. So you gain this 6%, if at all, because in Tamil Nadu traditionally over 50% of Muslims have been voting for the BJP, for the DMK, as I understand. So you won't be getting even that much. But as a cost, you may have to forego the so-called Hindutva and nationalist vote bank. How do it help the AIADMK? How do we get out of this strategy of the AIADMK?
Right, a very, very valid question. In fact, a couple of days back, a very lower lung AIADMK leader, very lower lung, not a very prominent leader, I was speaking with him and he said the same thing. He said, at one end, the DMK is playing anti-Sanatan politics. At the other end, BJP is looked at as a Hindutva party, as a result of which it is not going to gain a big toehold, according to him. Is finding it difficult to find a toehold or foothold in Tamil Nadu. Now, the very ideal situation for AIADMK is to play a soft Hindutva nationalistic chord, which used to be played by Jayalalitha. I do not know why AIADMK led by Edappadi Palaniswamy is so obsessed with the minority voters. But this is what he also told me. But let me try to answer to your question. According to me, and according to many other analysts in Tamil Nadu, Edappadi is not fighting the 2024 Lok Sabha elections. He does not know or understand, or he probably feels it is insignificant, that if he loses 2024 Lok Sabha election badly, what would happen? We'll come to that a little later. What are the permutations and combinations for that? We'll see that later. But for him, he personally feels, and his advisors think, that 2024 Lok Sabha elections, we do not have a very big stake on that. Our next big election is 2026. For the 2026 assembly election, if I were to give a run for money for DMK, and DMK does not have the practice of coming back to power. This has been in existence for a very, very long time. The last time the DMK came back to power was when MGR was a DMK. So from the time MGR left, they've never ever come back. Either it was 1991 or 2001 or 2011, they've never come back. So his calculation is that with the kind of anti-incumbency building up in Tamil Nadu, the other alliance partners like the Congress party, the Communist party, the VCKs, probably 2024 they may not come, but 2026, looking at the kind of the anti-incumbency which builds up against the DMK, they would be probably willing to do business with us. And at that point in time, if I have to ask for minority votes, because obviously with the Congress has a lot of following as far as minority votes are concerned, including the Christians in the southern part of Tamil Nadu, particularly in Kanyakumari, which holds a big one. The Kanyakumari district, Christians minority, Tirunelveli, Thoothukudi, these are places where they have a huge numbers. Sometimes you're coming close to even 50%. So he feels that if I start building this narrative now, a hardline narrative now, I can reap the harvest come 2026. But if I don't do anything, I would be looked at as an anti-minority politician. It will be very difficult for me to do business with. This is the thinking as far as AIADMK is concerned. But now, probably before you ask me that question, probably that could be your question also. 2024, a heavy loss for Edappadi Palaniswamy in 2024 would spell disaster for himself, because it would be very difficult for him to hold the party together. But probably he is extremely confident that irrespective of the results which I get in 2024, my leaders and my cadres are going to repose faith on me. They don't have any other option. As a result of which, I take this big gamble. That's why I think he has gone for it.
Now again, let me come back to numbers, because this is what I'm not able to making out of the AIADMK strategy. We are talking about 15 to 20% of Hindutva nationalist vote bank. You are basically giving up claim on them, and you are just passing it on to the BJP, which is already becoming very aggressive there. What do you gain in terms of numbers, votes? I mean, that's what I'm not able to make out. Even if you are targeting, say, 12% Christian and Muslim votes, it doesn't square.
Yeah. See, also what happens is when this 15-20% of nationalist and Hindutva voters, 15 to 20% moves to one direction, this anti-population, this anti is moving towards DMK. Now they are thinking that the anti of that, you have got around 25 to 30% of probably Tamilian pride, minority, all those things put together, anti-Hindi, anti-central, federal rights, those kind of things. That will also come a little bit of it comes to me. And also, mind you, one fact which none of us will know ever is probably the person has converted to Christianity, but on record he is still an Hindu. So when we say 6% Christians, we still have to keep our fingers crossed, because many of them have converted their faith, but they are still on record Hindus. Edappadi is also targeting them. And also he must have come to a fact that at some stage, in order to defeat this DMK, those 15% of voters who might have nationalistic mindset would think, who can beat DMK? Is it BJP or AIADMK? He might feel that they have always stood by ADMK. So I think they will stand by AIADMK is what he feels, which may not be the real case now. Because I think all of them are underestimating Annamalai. I'm not saying Annamalai is going to lit the lights, in 2024. But I think he's building up in a slow manner in a state where there has been national politics has been looked at as a taboo. Now Annamalai is slowly building it up. So the more Edapadi is going to move away from the 15 to 20% voters, is alienating them, is pushing them towards BJP, which probably is doing it aware or unaware, only God has the answer.
Mr. Sreeram, one of our subscribers, Sankalp, he has a question for you. He's saying, do you see a chance of a religious consolidation in the near future in Tamil Nadu? Is there any hint in dilution of caste-based loyalties? If not, why is Hindu consolidation much harder in Tamil Nadu than, say, in Uttar Pradesh, despite caste grievances being a pan-India phenomena?
See, caste is a pan-India phenomenon. But even in 2022 local body elections at Coimbatore, when I was speaking to some of the voters, the response was like this. I think BJP is doing a good job. Probably we are going to have a look at the party under leadership of Annamalai and all. But they had one thing. We have always lived in harmony. Our neighbors have been Muslims and Christians. If BJP tries to do anything related to religious politics like they do in North India, it will fail. So it will take a lot of time for a polarization in terms of religion, because polarization among caste has predominantly happened in Tamil Nadu for a very long time. Hindu votes have been divided and minority votes have been united. And for somebody to crack this code, that's why I'm saying Annamalai is doing a great job. But can he do it overnight? He also knows pretty well that it cannot be done overnight. But somewhere we have to start, and he has started. And that's why he's saying because see, I think many of the people in Tamil Nadu have not even understood what is Sabka Saath, Sabka Vikas and all those stuff. They've not understood at all. They feel that when a Modi speaks, when an Annamalai speaks, they speak only for Hindus. I think minorities have also got a lot of things. I'm not saying that there have been issues with minorities. There have been issues with minorities. But for the Prime Minister has spoken about the Pasmada Muslims and empowerment of them. He says that poverty is my enemy. Caste and religion are not my enemy. I think these messages do not go into Tamil Nadu. And there is an ecosystem which is under operation. And that ecosystem filters those messages and gives those messages which they want to send it across. And that is the biggest challenge. And the first time, see, national media has never covered a BJP state president till now. DK Singh, I think you must have been in the press for a long time. I don't think you would have covered any of the BJP. I'm not saying that BJP state presidents have not done a great job. They've all done a great job. But media has never looked at them. Media has never covered them. Their press conferences will be like, okay, fine, one more party is doing a press conference. We'll go and hear and come back. But for the first time, somebody is churning the Tamil Nadu politics. As a result of which, the Indian media wants to look at him. And there is one person who is able to communicate in Tamil effectively and also in English, which is more important. I would prefer that if he can communicate in Hindi, it may even get better. But at least in these two languages. As a result of which, so the question is going to be a long journey. It's not going to happen overnight. It is going to be, but the moment BJP crosses 10 to 12%, then magic can happen. But when is the 10 to 12% breach is going to happen? That's going to be the first question mark. Because once you cross 10 to 12%, many leaders who have been with DMK and AIADMK would look at BJP as an option. Today, they're not looking at it as an option. Moment they start looking at it as an option, then the whole, like say Congo region, do you think all the AIADMK leaders are comfortable with what is the stance being taken by Edapadi Palanichami? I don't think so. I think what Mr. DK Singh asked is the thing which is there in their minds also. Why don't we play soft Hindutva? Why are we alienating our own? Because Kongu is my strongest region. And if these people do not vote for us, then they're going to go for BJP and we're going to face a humiliating defeat. So they're also waiting. So all in all, I think it is going to be a very interesting journey with DMK picking up anti-Sanathan politics and AIADMK picking up minority politics. And also they're having communication with people whom DMK has not even had communication with. SDPI, hardline Muslim minority organization. MIM OIC, who has been trying to gain a foothold in Tamil Nadu for a long time, but DMK has never quoted them. Congress has never quoted them. But now AIADMK is quoting them. So is it going to be a hardline minority appeasement politics which is going to be taken up by AIADMK? That's going to be the million-dollar question which we are going to face. And that point in time, a religious polarization can happen.
You know, when this split was announced by the AIADMK, a section of commentators thought that, AIADMK is attacking Annamalai, not attacking Amit Shah or the Prime Minister. So maybe the AIADMK is keeping its option of going with the BJP open, maybe closer to the Lok Sabha election. But now that the AIADMK has started playing the kind of politics it is, do you think that option is gone now?
I think it is getting closed. I think Annamalai would be smiling right now because this is what probably Art of Arts, he was convinced that this party was trying to use BJP and would probably drop them like hot potato before the election. Right now, even if somebody from Delhi who is talking about, okay, should we look at an alliance with the AIADMK? Should we keep the door open? I think Annamalai would come and say they're talking with the SDPI. They're talking with MIM. They're talking about releasing terrorists. And do you think those are the kind of politics which BJP would be comfortable with? And I think Edapadi is helping Annamalai in ensuring that Delhi will close its doors on ADMK and EPS.
From my side, last question is, the BJP High Command backed Annamalai in his, when AIADMK leadership wanted him to go, wanted the BJP to change him. The High Command backed him. Yet, the High Command has not closed that option yet.
Yes.
How does Annamalai navigate from here?
To my knowledge, whatever I'm privy of, I think BJP had always, this was the kind of thing, communication which had happened, that BJP, when an NDA partner leaves, BJP does not make a big statement, make it a big issue, and that is what they had done. And they also wanted to look at what is the kind of strategy and what kind of path are they going to walk based on the kind of journey which the AIADMK wants to undertake. BJP High Command wants to respond or react. So, but to Annamalai, I think the communication has been very clear. You go, continue your anti-DMK politics. Keep an eye on what the AIADMK is doing. Keep an eye on what is happening inside the DMK alliance. It's not breaking at this point in time. Everybody is comfortable there. Nobody is going to walk out immediately. Keep an eye on that. Or is by chance AIADMK is moving towards I and DI alliance. So any national party, when they have 5 state elections and there are big Lok Sabha elections coming up and the ruling party would just wait for an opportune time. But I feel with the kind of body language which I can see with Annamalai, he is not at all disturbed about the BJP leadership, central leadership, not having said anything about the AIADMK or AIADMK alliance. I think he is comfortable.
So, just another question. Now that it looks like the BJP may have to go alone, and at least without these two major Dravidian parties, you may have some smaller players joining you. What are the prospects of the BJP in the Lok Sabha? Say, can it even hope to get, say, a couple, Kanyakumari, Coimbatore? I mean, what are the best prospects for it?
So, for the best prospects for them is to get Patali Makkal Katchi, which holds around 5% of votes, but they hold a dense votes in the northern part of Tamil Nadu, where the BJP is not very strong. It's not there, at least they've not proven themselves to be strong there, to get them on board. Next is to get TTV, who has got around 3% of votes, and he brings votes in Delta region, and he brings votes in. See, one of the things about these parties is they are not pan Tamil Nadu. They are all sub-region specific or a region specific. You take the case of a TTV Dinagaran, he can do something in few districts in Delta and a few districts in southern Tamil Nadu, beyond which he does not have any scope. O Pannirselvam, we do not know because he has not contested alone on his own. We assume that he must be having around 2%. So OPS plus TTV brings around 2%. And then you have a lot of social groupings. These social groupings who have been often neglected, who probably have never been electorally given a chance, like a Mutrayar community, a Yadavar community. These are all Hindutva forward bloc, Devar community. So these are small, and they also have their influence is also as one or two Lok Sabha constituencies. If you take the case of Mutrayar, they'll be having influence around 4 to 5 Lok Sabha constituencies. Then you have individuals who are proven fighters, who have their base in their own constituency. Like you take the case of Perambalur constituency, then you have AC Shanmugam at Vellore constituency, where he lost by just 8,000 votes in 2019, and even in 2014 he came second, pushing DMK to third position. So those people. And then you have Devendra Kulavelala vote, which is basically they love Narendra Modi because he was the one who gave them the name Devendra Kulavelala. Narendra lived Devendra. So their leaders are also there. A couple of leaders are there. They can be accommodated. So my best knowledge, the best case scenario for BJP is probably win a few seats, a couple of seats. Could be pick up Kanyakumari in a 3-cornered contest, give a big fight and pick up, say, probably a Tenkasi. With this kind of appeasement politics, minority appeasement politics, which the AIADMK is indulging in, probably a few in the Kongu region. And then these individual leaders like AC Shanmugam, PMK, because PMK won when in 2014, when AIADMK stood and the Lady versus Modi campaign was going on, Jayalalitha was at her peak. At that point in time, Patali Makkal Kachi won a seat in Dharmapuri. That's the reason it is important to have these alliances. And if Vijaykanth comes, probably he will also add a little more, 1 or 2. So you're talking about small increments. It's like your Apna Dal, your Nishad party in UP, if I have to take, because Apna Dal's influence is not going to be beyond those 2 or 3 constituencies or 4 constituencies. Nishad will have influence in the Gangetic river region, the plain region. So likewise only they have. So pick up all these and hope to win few handful of seats and hope to do a serious damage to AIADMK, pushing it to 3rd position. Then AIADMK leaders would probably question the credibility of Edappadi and question the leadership of Edappadi. Then anything can happen. But best case scenario is this. Worst case scenario, 0 seats, but probably an 18 to 20% vote share. Best case scenario, 2 or 3 seats or minimum 1 seat, probably again 20-22% of vote share, move forward. And also we need to understand that Modi's approval rating is not high in Tamil Nadu, but it is not as bad as what it was in 2019. Dissatisfaction was 68%. This time it should be around 52-54% is what my guess is. And whenever I'm doing a survey, I'm getting an approval rating for Modi between 35 to 38%, which is fairly good in a state like Tamil Nadu.
What has changed since 2019?
Yeah, definitely. That,
what has changed?
What has changed is basically Annamalai. Because now what happens is you need somebody to clarify that this is what Prime Minister's vision is and this is what it stands for. Now still 60% of them will not like Modi. But the 20% of them who probably liked Modi was there and 20% did not know the facts. Now Annamalai is telling them, as a result of which they are coming. Number 1 is that. Number 2, DMK is unable to run an anti-Modi campaign the way they ran in 2019 because they were in opposition. They could release black balloons. They could say, go back Modi. They could say Modi is a traitor. But now Stalin has to stand next to Modi and inaugurate, flag off Vande Bharat Express, get the benefit schemes, inaugurate the 13 medical colleges, as a result of which the optics has changed. And in any other state, this kind of an optics change would result in more than 50% of support for Modi. But unfortunately, Tamil Nadu is Tamil Nadu, or fortunately, Tamil Nadu is Tamil Nadu. That is why it is still at 35-36%. It is not 50% or above.
All right, thank you, Mr. Sreeram. Thank you, DK. Lots of moving pieces there in Tamil Nadu politics, and we'll get a clearer idea of which way they go closer to the 2024 elections, and then, of course, closer to the 2026 state elections in Tamil Nadu. As of now, thank you so much for watching this episode of Political Adda. We'll be back next week with another episode.